All right. So, yeah, to answer your questions, the high tunnel is a really benefit. The benefit of the high tunnel is that especially the early, because it's the spring or winter, and then late in the fall, and because if you look at it late in the fall, then high tunnel really still a standard time, a growing time for them between November and then to December, and then they may lose production between late December to January, but it's starting in February, then they started, be able to, started their operation again. So, so that means it's really just they just have like 1.5 months that they really have in no crop in there. Other than that, they'd be able to do that. And but not just that, because by sometime in late or early spring or late winters, like in March, thing like that, and we have late frost, thing like that. But Haitano is really benefit because it prevent the crop from damages. And not just that, but because in the crop that you grow under Haitano, even in the winter, because it as long if you have a couple hours sun, then they will be able to generate some heat inside, and so a lot of dew or moisture inside that they retain a better moisture, in the soil, and then the environment inside a little bit more humidity, a little bit climate change inside that. So that's really suitable for a lot of the crop that they grow because it come from the tropical, region. So they can see that if you grow in the open space and the inside the high tunnel, and the one in the high tunnel tend to be 2 times better than the one that are in open space. In the open space, you have risk in the winter and then the summer, but under the high tunnel, you can grow throughout almost throughout the year. That you have a good crop, good quality. In the years, about 2 times the one in the open space also. And then also they he see that in the winter in this hot summertime, he the when he irrigated, the evaporation tend to be really low underneath the high tunnel, so it reduced a lot of water use because he doesn't use very often like what you do in an open space. So that is a part of the energy also that help him. And then and also he he see that you know
Sorry,
the
somebody call.
the yield, and then also for the environment, impact. He can see that inside the high tunnel, and he used very minimal chemical, compared to the outside. And in that, it saved a lot of their investment. Then, and not just that, but they feel good about the environment. So that's just a thing that he see that is really benefit and for his operation.
Wow. So, I mean, you really mentioned a lot of key things. So, an extended time crop season, better quality, the environmental controls, the nutrient management programs a little bit more refined inside the high tunnel. And it's also a controlled environment, right? So it protects against the external environment
Right.
when it's, you have high winds or extreme low temperatures,
Yeah.
you're still able to produce. You know, this program is going to be a lot of beginning farmers, a lot of farmers who have not yet looked into high tunnels for producing, and many of these farmers that don't know NRCS or have never worked with USDA resources. What was the process that how was that process for Mr. Her? What was it? It went very well. As far as like paperwork, they had a good experience. Things, the planning, because I know they usually you contract somebody to come out to the farm and build the high tunnel. How was that whole process working with the NRCS to establish their first high tunnel?
Well, my experience with Mr. and Mrs. Hers it's a great experience because they are experienced farmers, and like they said, they listen to the program. They all know about the program in terms of hearing, the terms, and but they, you know, there's something that they wanted, but the process, to work with them, I think it's very easy because since they heard a lot about, our program already. And, when I started to work with them, we had to show them the paperwork, you're going to take time to do that. And you have to go through the process to understand about the application process, contract process. Once you get a contract, what you need to do, you need to get it done in a way that really meet the standard to fulfill the contract agreement, those kind of things. And Mr. and Mrs. Hers, they are experienced farmers, so they understand that in order to be success, you had to do your homework, you had to do a lot to get the benefit, to harvest a good return, you know, and which is they are very, they are a nice couple, hardworking couple, and it's easy to work with, and they follow the instruction. And when they get the practice done, it's a complete it meet the standard, and not just to meet our standard, but we know for sure that the benefit gonna be there, and they gonna you know have that benefit for a long time. And that practice gonna be there for them for a long time. So this is on my side. But if I can turn into see how they
Yes.
experience with us there.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
就乜啊？你弄咗佢哋嗰個 experience 嗰個聯同你呢邊，亦嗰個ที่ไปที่นี่啊ตัวนี้我哋話地區咗啲我嗱我後呢個見到幾好耐嘅看待嘅呢，而ตัวนี้話你攞กูจะ program 俾จะ program 嚟ที่จะไป work ตอนนี้จะคนนี้ต้องการ的จะนี่用意นี่我啦นี่我到这里路些啥里靠背的个你我นี่我到一用差里的你是那路些了我个用起啊的那啦我个超背啊你那 standard 是但是嘛看到个啥个你好对的你啥的你我好轮头背那古巴了呀的 USDA 那你不用你家靠 process 你不容易家地呀对你哈bỏ thì chỉ trong yêu cầu biết lòng bỏ là yêu dùng gì bỏ trong này là trong lưỡi tụi nên ở đây tế đi này.
Yeah, hay cho的话，给我做这当那这也有一块我，你贵要得去包这个牛的什么要包来这个鸡牛很，搞这真的有到说的种follow 那该来这些有我的家庭中的有我的家庭里有，有到我这里看该来的是你起码去牛。对我去了一起去牛哈，真的我给巴人的我，那USDA 那路program 了，古起码去牛的，开始经济要我那。被去包是有的被包的被古cũng mua có cái ban đầu giờ đó mà giờ biết chụp bao nhiêu thì biết bao rồi thì cứ giờ có rong lỡ ba biết tàu rong nó là cứ giờ có ý ba tàu rồi biết cái cứ nó cứ hậu rồi biết được khen có thì cứ ba tàu rồi nó dễ rồi thì tàu nó tàu hậu chỉ ta lên tới cứ ba tàu thì hỗ trợ còn này biết cứ họ chùa tàu ý chùa tàu đây chùa tàu thì hỗ trợ rồi有một trâu我给好久其中做山头这一些种是的，那做好个好呢了，你估一下你估要做到做山头，这只做到做好呢是的什么做到山头这也得也得，mà chỉ nhớ做好呢了，你估只好么做山头这呀，nhớ山头你估只落做山头，你估一好别估做到呀。
họ cũng tế được họ có hạt thì có ô luyện đọc bé thì bé ô luyện đọc con buổi thấy khó như gì nương giác khó như gì có khi bé ô trà thì bé ô trầu thì có khi kia nè thì bé những ô tàu để nó ô luyện ok như dùng gì thì xin các sử dụng thế thì ô có trầu thế có những khi tàu bé tàu xoay giả đi bé sập tàu thế có họ tống cản là bé của họ đi có khi bé tống cản thế gì mình nhắc họ dùng hành.
Thank you. Yes, yeah, to answer to that question is that, yeah, it is the process is then how we work with the USDA is not that difficult because, we heard a lot about the program already, but, when you really participate in the program, then, because the NRCA, they have the patient, they, be willing to explain it and sit down with them, explain to them so they to understand about the process. And when they get what they participate in the program, then they know exactly the instruction, how to get it done and done right and then meet this guideline. So, that you see that it's just a very, it's not hard. It's not all you need to do is just listen and then follow the instruction that you will get it done right. And, he always see that beyond that, not just the work with the USDA and get the program, but what he really see beyond that is that the benefit that you're going to harvest later, by utilize that, uh, that practice. And and because that help not just help him to improve his crop, to improve his income, to make his farm much easier, and minimize a lot of costs, and also minimize the use of the chemicals, and then reduce the water use, and all those you see that it save the energy, save its expenses, also. And so all that is a benefit. And then you get a crop earlier, early bird always get the good worm. So, and then, later, and then you still be able to do that, so that's why he see that it's a really benefit, and not just for the farmers, not just for the community, but also for the environment, because they reduce, the chemical use, they, farm to manage the farm properly, so it doesn't cause all, other environmental issue. So you see this is really benefit. And then Mrs. Hurst also add that because to work with the USDA is not a very difficult. I think, when the farmer have the heart, and then and now see I have the heart for to be with to sit down with them and explain with them. So they're really thankful for the USDA staff that who, at the patient that be willing to explain to this and that with them, and then work with them hand on hand, side by side, to make sure that they get the ethanol bill correctly, and then not just to pass our standard, but it's gonna last for them, and and also the safety that they're gonna be in and out all the time, and those kind of things. So they see that it's they really appreciate for the help of the USDA, that we really understand the needs of them, and and so that's make it easier for us to work with them and work with with us.
Absolutely. And so the high tunnels already had an economic impact, positive economic impact on the farm operation. Is that right?
Yeah, so nyali ni atia nyali ni popo thì nhớ rồi để cho chiến đấu là ni bây giờ ý cho ni ba tờ ni cả ni cho con cho lòng tàu nhiệt chiến đấu đồ học cụ tua ni ba tờ increase ni có nhẹ nu nhẹ li lần để liệt tên nên đầu đồ học cụ tua bây giờ lên đấy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Nếu như
yeah.
ba lệnh tàu chọc khổng là cũng trong thời xong thì đây là những tàu dầu thì sẽ xả thế dù khỏi kiến chơi.
Yeah, she said
Yeah.
it helped a lot. It improved, the income, and because when you improve the yield, you double the yield. That means the income can be, following, and they really appreciate it. It helped them a lot, and almost throughout the year that they have the income from the farm.
So I'm getting the idea that many farmers are going to be interested in high tunnels, especially be able to see it double your crop, possibly increasing your income. What is the timeline? How long did it take from the first time that when you apply for the program, and then you actually receive and build your high tunnel?
giờ đi ni nông khác thìว่านี่ขอถอนนี่ตัวถอเป็นจะเก็บบ้านนะถอนนี่ปีหมดจะเราถอนนี่ต่อใจในหนึ่งเดือนบริจาคนี่เพราะว่าตัวนี้อย่าได้ยังไม่นะเจนี่พอเราอยู่เบาเตยนู่เชื่อเลยอย่าเถอะโอ้ใจยันเดียวรู้ว่าที่อย่างนั้นนี่รู้สึกนะนี่ปอยยังเขาจองอันนี้ปอที่จองเลยอย่าเดือนบริจาคเถอะ
nhớ cho cứ họ experience mà cứ trên đấy một lý cha thế thì lúc thì bữa nhau có nó đó process suy chế nên cứ chỉ mà chỉ nên cứ chỉ sử dụng đấy một lý cha còn đấy chỉ có giờ thì dùng con tàu lúc ấyอยู่ออสเตรเลียจะอยู่ใช้ชื่อหันเตยเราว่าจังเลยเขาเราซื้อหายาเดียให้จังแต่ก็approve นะเจนี่กูจะชื่อหันเตยหมดเลยจ้ะเจ้
Okay, good. Yeah, it's the process of the timeline that work with the USDA from the start to receiving the program. It is just 2-3 months, so it's not a big deal because he still want to make sure that he filed a proper documentation in order to meet our guidelines to get the program. So that is not really an issue, and they really appreciate with that, just as a couple months, thing like that. But one of the things that it take a little longer because it depends on, most of the farmers are limited resources farmers, and they don't have a lot of capital to start with. So when you get the program and you order the part, now to build that, to install, to put together that, Itano, it depends on if the farmer will have the capital, have the, then you can hire an expert do it, and you can complete in sooner, and you can but not most of the case because it's a very limited resource farmer. So they have to find a way that how they can do it. They have to hire somebody that is a more reasonable price to install, and it take a little longer to do that. Or if some farmer they decide to build themselves, then it take much longer. So that would be the issue that they have to work with the USDA to arrange the time to make sure that we work together so they can complete the installation within the time allowed it, or if they don't, then they have to request for extended time and so they can complete it on time. So that's just the issue for the small farmers.